It's race day and our drivers are all out on the grid performing their final checks before we get underway here at the Bahrain International Circuit. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Stroll, Tsunoda, Vettel and Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo and Gasly, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and George Russell, Raikkonen and Nikita Mazepin. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Move was illegal. Return the position. DRS is now available. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap. Okay, careful with the overtakes. That was very risky. We could have received a penalty. Gap to car in front is 3.0 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the deserts. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. Max Verstappen's excellent result today sees him take over as leader of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
There's a few contenders, but George Russell definitely stood out, I think. A really solid drive from him today, and one I'm sure the fans enjoyed.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one. You join us in Imola as we prepare for what will undoubtedly be a magnificent day of racing. It's time, of course, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. .1 miles of track here at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One circuits as it's driven anti-clockwise. Let's hope no one forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight of the circuit and its only DRS zone. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso and Sainz, Gasly, Vettel, Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Leclerc, Esteban Ocon and Norris, Russell, Mick Schumacher, Nicholas Latifi and Kimi Raikkonen. Mazepin and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
strategy is available on the MFD. Copy. Okay, you need to give that position back. That was an illegal overtake. Illegal maneuver. Cede that position or we'll receive a penalty. Race Control aren't happy with your creative interpretation of track limits. They've given you a 3-second time penalty. We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Gap ahead is 4.2 seconds. Tsunoda's just ahead, push hard. Our gap to the car in front is 4.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 25.4. You're falling back by 1/10 a lap. Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. This is your final lap of the race. Currently P11, we're currently P11. Tsunoda is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 7.9 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Ocon behind, less than a second separate you. They're on fresh softs. The gap to the leader is 21.0 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. This is your final lap of the race. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. That's the end of the race, we'll see you in Parc Ferme.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Definitely Antonio Giovinazzi, isn't it? No matter what the rest of the field threw at him, he didn't put a foot wrong. Superb drive from him.
Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us. Out. You join us in Portimao as we prepare for what will undoubtedly be a magnificent day of racing. It's time, of course, for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So Portimao with the race.